Pompeii! Let the games begin! Slaves that live earn their freedom.
Only death is freedom for a gladiator. Can you feel that? Shields up!
We have to get to the harbor.
Okay, here's what I need to know first. Are you ever going to get a role where you get to be like indoors and clean and not fighting anybody?
I think there's like a self-destructive side of me that just wants to do things where I get thrown about and covered in mud and ash and blood and rain and snow. I don't know. I want that romantic comedy on a Hawaiian beach.
Is it coming?
Not just yet.
Okay, so you're gonna be getting beat up for a little while. So
Yeah.
tell me about the training that had to go into this role. I know you've done a little training for Game of Thrones, but this is intense.
This was another level, yeah. And one that I wanted to really invest in. I talked to the director when we were prepping for the movie, and in the script it had always talked about him being very lean and muscly, and gladiators were in those days. You know, they were kind of prize fighters. They were fed very well. They probably looked a lot healthier than most of the average Pompeians did. So I found that was very important for me, and to look. It was a very aesthetic visual movie, and I wanted to fit that, aesthetic visual. So I went for it, became obsessional, and as you do, and I won't be doing it again for a little while.
I was gonna say, so now that you've got, the abs, congratulations.
Thank you.
I have to say that. You look great. You're not, is it now like, well, now that I look like this and I worked so hard, let's get a bunch of roles?
No, it's the exact opposite. It's now I look like that in a movie, everyone's going to presume I look like that under this, so I have to do that anymore.
So tell me a little bit about the big fight scene in the arena when you guys are all chained up. How much of that was really happening? Is that you? How much is special effects? Because that whole scene, I'm just like, oh, the whole time.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
It wasn't special effects at all. That was all very real. That whole thing was very real because the chains around us, for some reason, couldn't be CGI'd. So we were fighting 4 or 5 guys at any one time, clambering up the side of a rock, and then fighting another 4 or 5 guys, and the whole while you're tangling yourself up in this chain. So there's a whole dance that has to be done over this chain while you're it's a full limb thing.
Let the games begin!
Take to shoot that scene?
It took about 3 days of rehearsal, and then it was a full week.
Before shooting?
Before shooting, yeah. Because we first started to do it, we had practiced this fight in a room, and then we got out onto set, put the chains around, and we attempted it for the first time, and everyone fell over. And it was
real injuries.
Yeah, it was about the 20th time we rehearsed it, people stopped falling over. It was hard.
That's impressive. Okay, so my last question is, now that you've done a film that's, historically a fact, this is a real event, are there other events in history that you would like to see brought to the screen that haven't been already? Specifically, maybe that you'd want to be a part of?
It's the centenary of the First World War coming up. That deserves to be. It's been depicted in movies a lot, but it deserves to be reinvestigated. There's so much, isn't there? I find historical movies fascinating, and I would hope that I would do many more in my career.
Fantastic. Well, I hope that you get to do one where you don't get beat up the whole
Thank
time. We'll see. It's nice to